Failure. 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 It could be worse. Welcome to the podcast, Gena Gephart.
Thanks for having me.
Lovely to have you. Thank you for doing the show. Welcome to Failure, everybody, with Kenya Lan. I'm doing this all backwards. It's like I started with you, now it's me. Christine's like, just keep it going. Welcome. Gena, if you do not know, is one of the co-creators of Ladylike. She also opened for Michael Che and Pete Holmes. I fucked those up. Wait, did I say that? Okay, whatever. Okay, here we go. Excited to have you. Welcome to Failure. One of the things of failure that we like to discuss here on the pod, or that I've been trying to give this some structure to, is just like I said, you're I would say you're very funny, accomplished comedian. You're well known in the scene. You're well liked. Yes. I don't know why I'm asking you to confirm this.
Except I have a lot of enemies as well, and I have beef.
Me too.
And don't cross me. Exactly. Unless you want me to just talk about you behind your back sometimes.
Oh, right.
Because I'll do it.
But be really nice to your face.
Yeah.
I feel like everything's cool.
No. But I am scared of you, but I wouldn't cross.
Totally.
It was pretty good.
The water? It kills every time. You know what I mean? It's a classic.
I haven't had one yet today. It's actually hitting.
Yeah, it's doing the damn thing. No, totally. But no, one thing we like to touch on is just how you got to this point in your career, how you got to this point of just finding comedy, just finding the things that you've really enjoyed doing and being yeah, I'm gonna do this. And what had you tried before that? No, it's okay. What you tried before that obviously maybe didn't go so well, but got you to this, So if you want to share some. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Wisconsin.
Where
I'm from
Wisconsin?
Northern Wisconsin.
Northern
I'm
Wisconsin.
from
Okay.
8 hours straight north of here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Bayfield, Wisconsin, beautiful, nestled amongst the Apostle Islands of Lake Superior.
You someone were you an attention kid? Did you want to be funny? Were you always trying to be funny? What was the deal?
It's kind of weird because I'm the town I'm from is so tiny. I graduated with 29 kids.
Oh wow!
So when I was younger, I definitely was a ham, and then I developed self-awareness, I think, or I don't know, maybe shame. I'm not sure. But then I when I was a kid, I was my mom was a choir teacher, so I was always singing and stuff, and I was "Ah-ra-ta-ra-ta." And then I don't know how old I was. I think I was in high school, where all of a sudden I just had this horrible stage fright from singing.
Yeah. And
I would still have to do shit, and I would forget the words, and I couldn't catch my breath, and it's really hard to sing when you can't breathe. So I'd be but it's when I was alone, I could really nail it. It was so frustrating. And then but yeah, then when I got to college, I did try out for an acapella group.
Really?
I did, yeah, and I was one of the first people cut from the auditions.
Oh, no. Wait, what year was that?
Horrible. 2010.
Yeah, no, this was height of acapella.
Acapella
was
hot.
hot.
Yeah. It was.
Yes.
Well, and my mom was a choir teacher, and my friend's cousin was in this. This group that one of, I don't know, and I was I thought that was so cool. We had her CD, and it's they're singing an a cappella version of Elton John, or
right, and exactly. They did In Sync, and they mouthed all the bass parts. Yeah.
Yeah, but I did. That's when I was getting to college, I was I'll do that, and then it'll be my thing, and then these will be my friends. And they were immediately please no. It was literally I think it was literally me and maybe one other person. There was 20 girls, and I immediately made a horrible impression. It takes 2 weeks to like me, so it's hard when I go in and I said something that I thought was a joke.
There was no. Yeah, no. I feel
it was you would just sing an audition song and me and this girl were singing the same one. I was like, oh shit, well there goes our originality points. And she's like, I don't think they'd be scoring on it. I think it's okay if we have this. I was like
you're like, well, you don't get me at all.
I thought I was just, I'm like, me talking to new people's the worst.
It's stressful. I feel you. It takes 2 weeks for you. It takes about 6 months to a year for me. So,
but you know what? It's as long as if we know that, then you just have to. Some people don't know that about themselves.
No, they don't.
And that's the worst.
That is the worst. Yeah. Shout out to self-awareness or shame. The show choir. I was a show choir.
We didn't have a show choir
friend hangout.
Oh, you weren't in the show choir.
I wasn't in it. Oh. I just hung around those kids. Like a loser.
We didn't have one, but the neighboring school had one, and it was like very much like the cool thing to do. For us, it was band. Weirdly, that was like the cool thing to do. It's I can't explain northern Wisconsin to you, but you just have to be there.
Like part 2, northern Wisconsin.
But yeah, I was like, I thought that I would have died to be in show choir when I was in high school, and you get to like touch boys.
Yeah, it seemed like a pretty horny time. Yeah, it was like that. I did theater and like, so like there was also a potential opportunity there, but not as much.
Yeah, stage kiss or something.
Yeah, but they wouldn't even. I was getting like, I was like
tree
girl on
number
the
3.
side. Yeah, I was like girl on the side, and then
townsperson 1.
Yeah, and then I was doing a lot of like technical stuff, but nothing too. I wasn't painting or doing lights because those kids were just like doing stuff in the closets, and I was too scared of that. You know what I mean? So I was like, how do I just sort of float around and like not get too involved? I'm from Lombard. Oh, yeah. So western suburbs. Shout out to
my college roommate was from there.
Where'd you go to college?
UW. Madison.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, got you. My dad was obsessed with Madison. We went to Madison all the time. Yes, it was obsessed. We also had a what's it called? It was like a nicer trailer in the Wisconsin Dells. So we would like hit up.
I was super dark. Yeah. I went. My friend's grandparents had one of those, but it was so funny. In the Dells, it was like. It was almost like a retirement community. It was like only old people could stay in this
the area,
and they all had their little trailers.
Right.
Almost they were trailers. They weren't like campers. And then there was like a public pool, and I absolutely got a yeast infection in that pool. I had a tampon in, and I got in this fucking pool in the Wisconsin Dells, and I immediately was like,
yeah, you're just like, okay, and you're like, that's what that feels like.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Live and you learn, I guess.
No, I will not learn.
No, never.
I will live, and then I will die. Having learned nothing.
Yeah, exactly. No, we had one of those growing, but yes, my dad was obsessed with that campus. I don't even know. He was just like, my dad's also a retired professor at this point. So it was like any sort of like academic, any sort of campus we could just wander around on. He was down to like, and then instill some sort of idea that like, you're going to go here. And I was like, okay, whatever you say. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm failing, but totally.
I'm actually going to learn a trade.
Yeah. I've got a whole other set of skills you don't even know about.
Plumbing or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Plumbers make a lot of money. Actually.
They make a shit ton of money, and they don't really need to necessarily know what the fuck they're doing. That's what I've come to learn.
I've unclogged a few things.
Yeah.
I've made some things worse though too.
No.
Acapella, I'm so glad. Yeah. They're so fucking raging nerds. I went to like, even that there's like they're called the Mad Hatters, and that's like it is very like pitch perfect, where like they're like when they're having their, you know, they got their little fucking coats on and stuff, and everyone's like, the Mad Hatters are singing Backstreet Boys. I went to a party. I didn't realize it was one of their parties. They're like fucking singing at the. I was like, nerd.
Yes,
Get away.
They would definitely do that. Yeah, because I went to DePaul, and the
I was
women's
a nerd.
group.
I think you're a nerd.
No, exactly. No, it's same thing. Especially being a theater person, it was like, I'm not that bad. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not an actor. I'm not like
harmonizing,
actively trying to get attention. You know what I mean? People just naturally want to look at me, but
a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, right. It's just something you have to live with. But no, we had the DePaul men's acapella group. That was the big group because they were all like mildly attractive and like you know, not scary men, you know what I mean? Like no one was like intimidated by them, and they would just like sing. They would do this thing on Valentine's Day. They would like go around and like sing for money or whatever. Like you could hire them.
Oh yeah.
And I had a couple. Once again, I had a couple. I do a couple of guys in the what's it called group, and so I was always at like their parties and stuff. And like I did have a crush on one of them. I will admit that. Not anymore. I think he was straight, so there was that. You know what I mean? I had that going for me. I figured that one out, but no, yeah, there was. Oh my God, what a time! What a time to just have people harmonize. You know what I mean? At you and just be and be wet.
At you,
you know, like just like this is what does it for me. It's like
I was like, excuse me, I was talking.
Yeah,
you're like bah, bah, bah. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't go down that route either. I'm glad I never got cast in any play in like a real thing, and I'm glad I never made it to show choir. You know what I mean? Thank God for that.
I'm glad all the acapella bitches hated me. Yeah. I would have hated me too. I was like a little freak. But yeah, then after that, I just was like, what the fuck am I going to do now? That was my big plan. And I'd make little like movies and stuff when I was a kid. And so that was kind of like, it was kind of like fun. So I like joined this org where like, it was, the idea was, you know, we all just make little movies and then put them on or whatever. And then the guy that was running that org was like, hey, you should apply to Manhole. It was a sketch, the only sketch group actually at UW. Lots of improv, but only one sketch team.
For it, do it.
And so like I like wrote a sketch to like apply, but then I had to I had to like audition, and I'm a terrible actor, and so that I was freaking out trying to like and then but yeah, then I got on the team, and I was like, I tried to act as little as possible, and I just kind of run lights. So I was still in a few things, but I was like very much like I'm not like a perform like I have a very limited range. So
I feel you. I feel the same. I definitely I tried out at one point. I tried out for like the high school improv team after doing like all this like whatever side technical whatever stuff, and all my friends were once again like doing it, and I was like, this is the one time I'm not going to be the like one on the side, like I'll be in the group. And I auditioned, I like got in, and then the second I got in I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be the stage manager. I was like, I'll be on the side again, you know what I mean? Like and they like put me up on the board. It was like, what do you need a stage manager like for?
Support?
Yeah
Emotional.
I'm here. Yeah, you think they're just getting water on their own? No, that's me.
What if their throats are dry?
No, yeah, exactly.
When they're doing their object work.
Yeah.
If let's say hypothetically I had a real job, like I had like a corporate job, like, you know, like if I had to do like some kind of like presentation, I would not enjoy that at all. Like no, it's like such a specific, I don't know, maybe I just got you, because I used to get super nervous too. And I would like lose my voice. I couldn't like catch my breath when I was talking, but it didn't really matter, because like you can talk while you can't breathe. Yeah, for the most part,
it can work out in your favor. It can sound like it's on purpose.
And that's what, when I first started, I would kind of do this like. I kind of had this epiphany where I was like, because when I first started doing stand-up, I was like doing it like, I was doing like an impression of what I thought a female comic, you know. I was like, I'm wearing your pussy, ladies. Like,
wait, okay, question first. How old were you, and who was this person that you were trying to emulate?
Well, I started when I was 21, the summer after my junior year.
Gotcha.
And it wasn't really like it wasn't like anyone in particular. It was just this like idea I had, and I feel like I see a lot of younger comics like come on being like, this is what like a stand up looks like. This is how they, you know, they're drinking their whiskey while they're on stage for their 4-minute open mic set, like shit like that, like kind of like the like trope
the person
who
sits.
But yeah, I was
4 minutes.
Oh yeah, that kills me when they sit down, or it's so when like a host comes and they're just milking it every time. They'll come up, they'll take the thing out of the mic and okay, who's ready for it? It's like,
it's like, just get to it. It's like, this show's already 2 hours long. Yeah. But no, you were doing, what was the voice?
It wasn't even really a voice. It was just, I just was doing this like a character, it wasn't supposed to be a character, but it like, and then I had this epiphany where I was like, I don't have to be like that because I was not good at it. Also, I actually, you know who it was? I saw Beth Stelling. This was like years and years ago in Madison. She was opening for Anthony Jeselnik, and I watched her set, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, like, because she would, you know, and she would like talk kind of like quiet, and she would do the like, it was like not like I'd been doing this kind of like over the top thing, and then I was like, oh, and I was like, oh, I can like be nervous, like I started to like be a little extra nervous, like, and then
just leaning into
I can't tell if it's real or if it's part of the, and I still do that to this day.
No, totally, yeah, no, it is. Yeah, that like person you're trying to be. I don't know. Yeah, there's this like, because I think too, just as a woman, you're like wanting to. I think it's also this like taking up space. I'm here. I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Like, I know you don't want me here. I feel like that was my mentality when I first started. Especially because when you're like, what? There's like 3 of you in the room, and you just listen to like 45 minutes of just like men talk about whatever the fuck. And so I feel like you feel like, at least I felt like, I had to really just be like, yeah, like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And they're like, you seem insane. You know, like, we're just
you are
crazy. Yeah. Then like purposeful, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, it does take a long time to like figure that out. But I'm just nodding.
No, you're fine. Do you
Cut away from me.
No worries. No worries.
Cut the cameras.
It could be worse.
The way that the like Instagram reels have the chokehold that we truly,
yes.
And it's like, so you really, I mean, you can do it anywhere where you can get up regularly and get clips, and then you post them, and then you know you accrue followers, and then you go, okay, well, where should I tour? And like, I don't know, it does seem like you could do it wherever you want.
Yes, it has gotten easier to like find your people in a sense, like people that are down to talk about whatever, who have the same people who also think that maybe they need to go back to therapy. And
that is not who's following me on Instagram. You wouldn't believe. Do you ever look at your
who's following you on Instagram?
I switched my account to like the business account. Did you do that? So then you can see all the stats. So I'm seeing shit I did not know about, and I thought it would be like, so my TikTok, literally 86% female followers. I love TikTok. Warm energy, safe space.
Yeah.
Instagram, it's like 76% men, and they're like they're like 40. They're like, oh my god, I'm like, what? How did this happen?
That's wild.
And it'll be
that
like,
is scary.
Men that'll like comment on my video and be like, slut, and then I click on their thing. It's truly wild. But it's like absolute loser. Like,
yeah,
his like profile picture, he's like
grossest.
he's like in a national park being like and this guy, he's got like this like dorky like dad, and he has this weird picture like this.
Yeah.
And then slut. It's like, what?
Yeah, old
but he's
men
like following
don't know
me. He's actively following me.
Right, because there's another part of him. Because men need help. I mean, obviously, they need a lot of help. I don't know if you've been on the apps lately, but it's just like you don't need a spiral every time you like find yourself attracted to a person. You know what I mean? And I'm saying that to them. I don't know. It's like they're like, "What's wrong with you?" It's like, I don't know. I just had sex with you. Why are you upset? Like I recently had sex with this guy, and afterwards we didn't talk very much at the beginning. Afterwards we talked, and it came out that I did stand up, whatever. And then you gotta
hold that close to the vest for as long as possible, because they're always like, tell me a joke, or they go, you want to hear one of my jokes? I fucking do not. Please do not.
No, my I was out with friends over the weekend, and I was like, stop telling people that, stop introducing me as that. It literally the whole tone of the horrible conversation shifts, and then
you have to have the same conversation. I'm sure all people go through this with their jobs and stuff, but it's like, then I have to have the exact same conversation that I've had 100 times, and I have to have it again with you, Chad, from the bar. And I'm like, you don't care about this. I just super don't care about it. Like,
right. And now I'm more so just dealing with like your projections.
Yeah.
Like whatever you think. Because like literally over the weekend, someone introduced me to somebody else, and they just went off about how they hate comedians, how they hate male comedians. And I was just like, okay, well, I'm not one of those. So like, why do I have to, I was like, okay. Like, I just end up being like a sounding board for like whatever someone's opinions are about comedy, or they want to ask me, or it's like a guy asking me who I like. I'm covering for you who I like, or like who, you know what I mean, inspired me. And it's just like having a conversation about music.
I know.
It's like you don't know, you won't like them either,
because I've never been inspired is the other thing.
Right. Yeah. This all comes from me. I never saw stand up before this.
Well,
I just decided I didn't even know this was a job. I just decided to do it.
I mean, that does sound, when you say like that, it sounds crazy, but I really don't watch stand up. Like I never, I wasn't like a stand up nerd. And I don't watch it now. Well, now it's like I watch it every day. So it's like when I go home, I'm like I'm watching Succession. I'm not watching. Yeah. I can't. I just can't. It's like I can't do it.
I finally got into that last night. Actually, Succession. Oh, yeah. It took me like 8 episodes, but I finally was like, oh, this hits. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I didn't get into it right away either. But
yeah, I had to watch it a few times. Same thing with Breaking Bad. But whatever, it is what it is. But no, yeah, it's
Peaky Blinders. I've tried and Mad Men. I try and try.
Mad Men really isn't.
Like
I don't
3
think
that's
that's actually worth it.
Really?
To be honest with you. As someone who watched it during the time, I try to bring myself to rewatch it, like get back into it, maybe finish, because there's still like, I think I have like 1.5 seasons left, and I'm like, I think I'm good on watching some like white guys, you know what I mean, in their prime. You know, like I'm good on
the best
being
time.
sad. Yeah, like prime time white male, like peak white male. Actually, I mean, is it on all peak? But like, you know, that, and then being sad. I'm like, you don't get to be sad. I'm like, yes, feel your emotions, whatever, but like, why do we need 10 episodes or 10 seasons of this?
Oh, they go, oh, rats, I have to suffer the consequences of my own actions.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they're like, oh wow, we have to deal with racism. They're like, oh, I've got a black secretary now. It's like, oh no. Let me drink about it. Yeah. Are you being serious?
Yeah, it's the same guy, but
oh my god. Okay, this is gonna be a part 2 because I fucked up. Okay.
And then, you know, just regular underwear, socks, shoes, stuff like that, you know.
And they're just
bras. God
damn it. I'm like, okay, first of all, let's do some collaboration posts.
There's a wide community of perverts that I have been meeting,
that you've been it's been unleashed upon.
Yeah, seriously.
Your comedy is just drawing them in. Well, it's because you're talking about discharge, and they're like, that gets me going.
I think, yeah,
it's your fault. This is your fault.
The first guy that ever DM'd me, I think it must have been from a video. But then I did a joke about the guy trying to buy my underwear, and I posted that, and then everyone's like, "Hey, haha, is this a joke or what do you? Can I have some?"
Okay, I'm gonna write this down. I'm like, talk about the things I'm willing to sell.
I mean, yeah, like clothes and stuff. You can have it.
I mean, I did Google at one point, like selling your underwear, because there are a couple different sites that can do it. But I was like, this is a lot of work, and if you can just like have them offering that be money.
I think part of it is like when you go on the site. $250. That's what I sold it for.
Your puke too?
No,
or is that more?
No, I'm not doing the puke. I'm not selling puke.
Yeah.
Please do not buy
also,
puke.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, I guess you also have to make yourself puke.
It's good. I guess it's good to know that if I got in a pinch or whatever,
that's a second.
I could, make a little money, but
multiple streams of income. That's what it's all about in this country.
it was like picturing like doing it. I was like, I don't think it, because it would be like quite degrading. Like so, that's why I was just like, I really don't need the money bad enough to throw up. But every male comic I talked to, I was like, would you throw up for $1,600? They were like, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, I'll do it, and then you can sell it, and we'll split it. And I'm like,
And now we're getting into the ethical side of this.
I would feel guilty. I would feel guilty.
I would not. Also, to be honest with you, okay, we really should collab.
I will say, if I naturally have a puke,
right,
I might catch it in something.
Right. Yeah. Now everything's becoming valuable.
It was. Oh no, it's truly. Yeah. It is. It was kind of ironic because I told the guy no, and I was in Mexico, and then I immediately got food poisoning. Like that night, that I was like, I think I'm all good. Thanks though. I puked 3 times, like projectile, like powerful pukes.
Right.
But I was like, I even thought about it, but I was like, well, I'd have to take it I'd have to take it back through TSA. Like, I'd have to go through customs and be like, they'd be like, and it will be more than 3 ounces, so I wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't be able to take it.
You're like measuring it out. You're like,
yeah, I'm putting it in my shampoo bottle.
Yeah, that is logistically, there's
Mexico.
a lot.
That'd be wild to get a box of puke that somebody has mailed to you from Mexico.
There's like a whole like tax situation and like this like
had to go through
you don't put your name on the
duty free.
That's a whole nother section that they could really get going. Actually, that's a great name for just a duty free, the puke and whatever parts you want to make company.
Don't forget the turds.
How much for turds?
Well, so
how much have you been offered?
I was offered $400 for a turd, but he said that the first time you do it, like, and with the puke, it's $800, but the first time he pays you double because he knows it's like a big ask. So
no, you're gonna pay me the same amount every time. It's not gonna be double just the one time because I've stooped because you've traumatized me.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, that is what it like is.
Yeah, but then it's like,
and it's like I do. It's like, okay, I do shit all the time, of course. Like it wouldn't be unnatural, like it'd be
every
unnatural to throw up. Yeah, no, yeah, or less. So,
yeah.
But yeah,
if you can.
But I'm like, I really to shit into a Tupperware. I'm like, I cannot. Yeah. I know people that have done it, and then to hand it to an innocent like UPS worker.
Yeah, you got to wrap that baby up.
And they're like, are there any liquids? You're like,
Well, I mean, you can send your poop now to be medically examined. So people are sending samples of lots of different things in the mail these days.
I think
not to justify
I think sending a stool sample and shitting into like a Ziploc bag are different, but I do.
What's different about it? You know what I mean? I'm really trying to get you there. I'm like, I think there's money here, and I think you should do it. Every step of the way, you're like, you know what? I just don't know if I can. And I'm like, why? Like, why can't you? This sounds pretty easy to me. Like, you're already doing it.
Told you could.
Right. You don't even have to think about it. Your body just does it. Like, just use it to your advantage. No one's asking me. I'm down.
It just would be so gross. It's like,
entirely. Yeah.
And the underwear too. It's like, even though I'm like, okay, this guy fucking loves these underwear. This is like his whole thing. He is not disgusted by these at all. But even so, I was just like, oh, I don't want someone to look at them. There's stuff on them.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't like ask you to like sew your name into them, right? He's like, these are Gena's.
No. But I mean, my DNA is all over him. So.
Yeah, that's true. He gets caught for murder.
Yeah. They find my discharge.
Wow, that's crazy. Damn, the streams. Wow, comedy really can lead you to all different kinds of opportunities. What a joy to be in this line of work.
I think I'm gonna try to be a copywriter or something. I think I need a new job.
So, the typical recourse.
Yeah.
But okay, so we're getting to this was an interesting episode. I feel like I learned more about you. I feel like we have a lot in common, actually. You want to get a drink later? No. But no, this was an interesting episode. I think you might actually have to come back for part 2 of just selling fluids online, because like I said, I fucked up y'all on that one. I'm the failure of this. I'm the failure of this episode.
I buried the lead. I should have said that first thing.
You're like, so I'm selling my underwear. And I'm like get into it.
Get your turds here. $400.
Things we learned. I will definitely sell anything. Gena has some self-respect.
Everybody says that, but when it comes down to it, I don't know.
You really, yeah, fair enough. We'll see. Someone has to ask me. Can't fuck with anything.
Flip them around.
But no, a way that I like to end these episodes is the mantra of the week, and it's just something that you say to yourself, or that you've read in the past, whatever, or maybe saw on Instagram this morning. That you saw, and just words that you try to live by, or I don't know, that just get you to push forward, keep it moving, keep on pushing. You could just burp into the microphone if you want to.
I wish I had that amount of control. The burps control me. Okay. I don't know. I think lately I've just been going. It'll be fine later. I'll go, this can't last forever. That's fine.
I feel you on that. Yeah, this can't
really
last
that
forever.
great of a mantra, that.
No, it is a good mantra, because I remember I used to feel that way. I would feel that way, especially going through like crazy rushes, like in restaurant, you know what I mean, working in restaurants.
It's like, cannot last.
Give this an hour,
forever,
give it an hour, and this pop will end, you know what I mean, and like we will have made hopefully $200 or something in this like little moment. But yeah, it's like, weirdly enough, the restaurant industry doesn't totally break you. It can give you some kernels of something. But yeah, I feel you on that. It's like this. I definitely feel you in that right now. As a person, hey, let's go get a drink and see if we can find some therapists. How about that? No, but yeah, no, this will not last forever. It'll be okay. Will it be okay? I don't know. We'll see. But
it might not.
It might not. But hey, you know what? Okay. It won't last. It will. Something will change.
It'll change into something worse.
Yeah, it could get worse, but it could get better. Or we could just become numb to it.
Statistically, probably won't get better, but we'll be like.
And on that note, we have Gena Gephart here, ladies and gentlemen. You can, if she doesn't feel comfortable selling underwear, she'll sell you some pretty advice, to get through it.
Yes, I will.
But no, thank you, Gena, for being on the show today.
Thanks
I appreciate this conversation. Yeah, thank you. And that's been an episode of Failure with Candy Alon. Thanks. Bye. It could be worse.